From the first local station with news in high definition, this is 9 News Now.
Have you seen those enticing ads telling you how easy it is to make money from home? Well, the question is, are those ads really true? With me now is Jen Groover. She is CEO of Jen Groover Brands. We also have DaRayl Davis. He's CEO of Financial Assurance Corporation. He's also an author, and he has advice on saving for retirement. Thank you very much for being here with us. And I've got to say, people who know QVC and have heard of your Butler bag, they know who you are. But you are much more than just that one item.
Yes.
You are an entrepreneur, and you've helped several dozens of companies get started, and you're here to say you've been getting lots of phone calls. How to do it? Where do you start, Jen?
Right. Most of the questions this morning are people saying, I really do want to work from home, or I need to work from home for one reason or another. Where do I begin? The first thing you ask yourself are, what are my experiences? Where do my assets lie? And make a list if you have to. And then ask yourself, what's my passion? If I'm going to do this, can I do something that I love doing? Absolutely you can. So take your experience and fuse it with your passion, and that's where you begin. I just had somebody say, you know, I was an assistant to different politicians. And I said, well, then become a virtual assistant. Work from home, work for multiple people instead of just one person in one company, and then you'll have multiple clients. It's really a mindset shift. People think, I'm starting a business, it needs to be this big, huge company.
Yes.
It really doesn't. Utilizing technology really is allowing people to work at a different pace, at a different level, and starting almost instantly. Use social media like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn to get started in promoting yourself.
The one thing you haven't mentioned, I think that puts the fear in people, is capital. I think you need to have lots of capital up front to start this new venture.
Right, and you really don't. You could start a company for $50 if you need to, by getting your business cards at 123prints, vistaprints.com. For $10, you could have hundreds of business cards. You can buy a domain or a website to legitimize yourself at GoDaddy.com for about $8.99. There's multiple ways of really getting started. You need a bank account. You have to have a separate bank account. You don't want to merge it with your personal income. And really, those are the three main things that you need to get started. A sole proprietorship, you can go to your county clerk and file for a business license, but it's really not expensive to get started if you're starting a consulting or freelance type company.
Exactly. Self-employment is good for retirees as well, because they can use those experiences and become the consultants, the virtual employees. DaRayl, tell us more about where the retiree should be looking as far as making impact on his retirement years.
You know, I agree with what Jen shared in that people should pursue their passion and not a pension. It's better to do what you are, really passionate about, and then take those experiences they've garnered over the last 20 or 30 years working for a corporation, and they can look to then outsource. Many companies nowadays are going to be shifting from having permanent full-time employees anyway to having more contractors that are seasonal to lower their overhead. It's a tough economic time across the board, and so retirees can actually capitalize on their years of experience and the knowledge that they've gained.
How do I boost my savings, though? Because you will need the savings eventually. The 401ks, they're not doing well, but do I still put money into them if I can?
You know, it's now time to be creative, and as Jen mentioned, we need some shifting in our paradigm and our mindsets. 401k plan is great. You may want to put money there if you can capture the employer's match, but you also want to look towards tax-free retirement income vehicles. Some of the non-traditional things that we have been spooked by, like life insurance, and the abilities that's one of the biggest exemptions in the tax code, the life insurance exemption, where you can get that money and it comes back to you tax-free. And with the climate being what it is, taxes are definitely going to go up. We want to minimize our taxes when we start taking our money.
You say that you should make sure the retirement is part of your will. It seems like it would be moot at that point.
Well, you know, a lot of people think that their retirement accounts, their IRAs and 401ks is covered in their will, and in fact, it's not. One of the biggest issues that we have is distribution of our IRAs, and we want to make sure that we have a plan for getting that money out and or passing it to our heirs.
Call DaRayl, call Jen. You want to start up a business, you want to make sure you have the retirement money. 202-432-9045 is the number to call.